Hello guys, today I'm fixing the biggest problem with the best camera. I've been using both the Blackmagic 6K and the Blackmagic 4K cameras, and I found out for the most things that I'm shooting, simply the 4K is better. In this video I will explain why and how the Speedbooster changes everything. And another point, I'm selling my 6K to get another 4K. 6K versus 4K. So I own my Blackmagic 6K maybe 3 years, and I've been using it day to day, and I've been using it to shoot ads and short films. So let's start with the 6K. Crop factor 1.56, 6K 12-bit RAW resolution. That sounds impressive, right? But there is a big issue. File sizes are massive, editing is slow, and basically most of the time you just need 4K. You don't need that 6K resolution. So basically if you set the 4K resolution on the camera, it's gonna crop into the sensor. Basically the only way to use 4K is to use ProRes, but then you are gonna lose the Blackmagic RAW 12-bit, the dynamic range, the quality, and you are just gonna end up with a 10-bit ProRes. Now the 4K, yes, it only has 4K, but with the Speedbooster you basically get something around 1.3 times crop, and you get smaller file sizes. The Speedbooster magic. So the Speedbooster is gonna give you one stop of light. For example, if you are using some of the cheaper lenses, let's say f4, with the Speedbooster it's gonna be f2.8. For example, I often shoot with the 70-300 Canon lens, which is f4 to f5.6. Normally that's limiting in low light, but with the Speedbooster you can open it and make it f2.8 to f4 at the lower end, which doesn't sound bad. It's a huge advantage, especially if you are using cheaper lenses, because suddenly you are getting performance much closer to more expensive lenses. The Speedbooster has its own problem. For example, you lose a little bit of sharpness, especially when you are wide open. For example, f1.5 or 1.4. In my experience, the lowest that you can go with the Viltrox is around 1.5 or 1.6. You cannot go below that because your image gets really small. And another small problem, the Viltrox Speedbooster, it tends to wobble or dance on the camera, but you can fix it with one simple thing. Solution, you just take a piece of tape and you are just gonna stick it between the camera and the Speedbooster. Just simple tape, and it's rock solid. Why the 6K is overrated? Back to the 6K. Yes, if you are using the native 6K, you have sharper, cleaner image. That's true. But there is a catch. For most content, no one cares. If you're gonna crop directly from the 4K, just a little bit so that you are not gonna get that clean 4K, nobody's gonna notice. Because if you're gonna upload it to Instagram, you're gonna upload it to YouTube, those platforms have heavy compression rates. They're gonna compress and you are not gonna see the difference between them. 99% of people are not gonna see the difference. Why I'm selling the 6K? So after testing both of the cameras, I've decided to sell my 6K. There are 3 reasons for that. The first, I rarely use the full 6K resolution. Second, the 4K plus the advantages of the Speedbooster, it is faster, lighter, and just more practical. It has better low light, and the post-production is easier. So I'm getting another 4K body with the Speedbooster, so basically the same setup which I'm now recording on. And honestly, for most of the creators, it's a better choice. Basically, you need less storage and the same cinematic look. So that's my breakdown. Why the Blackmagic 4K beats the Blackmagic 6K in almost every real-world scenario. Speedbooster fixes the low light problem with the Blackmagic cameras, tape solves the wobble, and the direct 4K shooting keeps your workflow smooth. If you're thinking about buying the 6K, maybe think twice. For most of us, the 4K is all you need. So thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you learned something new, and subscribe if you want more camera tips. See you in the next one.